Welcome to Rare Coins History. Today we are talking about the most valuable rare Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coins from the United States of America that collectors are paying big money for. Many people still have these coins in their pocket change, but they don't realize their true value. In this video you will discover which pennies you should never spend and why these coins are becoming extremely valuable in the coin collecting world. So make sure you watch this video until the end, because one small detail on your coin could make it worth a lot of money. If you enjoy rare coin discoveries and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in circulation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Rare Coins History. Comment below if you have found any rare coins. Thanks with love for watching. Coin Point 1. Today we are exploring a fascinating small coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand, the rare and valuable Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin from the year 1958 with no mint mark. This coin was produced by the United States Mint in Philadelphia and features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected leaders in the history of the United States of America. Imagine checking an old box of coins, a jar that has been sitting on a shelf for years, or even a handful of change collected over time. Among those ordinary-looking pennies could be the 1958 Lincoln Memorial cent. At first glance it looks simple, just another copper coin from the past. But coin collectors know that certain years and certain details can make a coin stand out in a very surprising way. The Lincoln Memorial design itself is historic because it was the first time the reverse of a United States coin showed a real building instead of a symbolic design. When the coin was struck in 1958, millions were produced, yet today collectors search carefully through them looking for high-quality examples and rare variations. The coin without a mint mark indicates it was made in Philadelphia, and these coins often circulated heavily, which means finding one in excellent condition is much harder than many people expect. Collectors often begin by looking at the condition of the coin. The shine of the copper surface, the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, and the clear details on the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse all play a major role. A coin that has been protected over the decades can appear much more attractive than one that spent years in circulation. When a coin still has strong luster and very few marks, collectors immediately become interested. But the real excitement comes when we talk about errors and special characteristics that make some 1958 pennies rare. One of the most famous things collectors look for is doubling in the letters or numbers, where the design appears slightly repeated due to the minting process. Some coins may show stronger details in the inscriptions, unusual die marks, or other small variations that separate them from normal coins. These are the details that experienced collectors study very closely. Another factor that makes this coin interesting is the history around the final years of the wheat cent era, transitioning fully into the Lincoln Memorial design period. By 1958, many people were already saving coins from that time period, yet only a small percentage remained in near-perfect condition. Over the years, as collectors searched and graded coins more carefully, certain high-grade examples became increasingly desirable. Coin collecting is not only about value but also about discovery. Many collectors enjoy the process of examining coins under light, rotating them slowly, and noticing small details that others might overlook. A 1958 Lincoln Memorial cent with strong detail, bright surfaces, and clean fields can instantly attract attention when shown to collectors or submitted for grading. There is also something special about holding a coin that has traveled through decades of history. This small cent might have passed through countless hands, stores, and cities before finally ending up in someone's collection. Every mark and every detail tells a story, and sometimes that story becomes even more exciting when the coin turns out to be rarer than expected. If you have old pennies stored away, now is the perfect time to check them carefully. Look at the date, examine the condition, and pay attention to any unusual features. Many collectors have discovered valuable coins simply by taking a closer look at coins they already owned. Now let's talk about the value that many viewers are waiting to hear. A normal circulated 1958 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin with no mint mark is usually worth around 2 to 10 cents in the collector's market. A well-preserved uncirculated example can reach around $5 to $20 depending on condition and quality. High-grade certified coins with strong red color and minimal marks have sold for several $100s. Rare exceptional examples with outstanding preservation have reached prices of several $1,000s at major auctions. Coin point 2. Today we are diving into a small copper coin that many people have seen but very few truly understand, the 1953 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark from the United States of America. This coin was struck by the United States Mint and it carries the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognized coins connected with the history of the United States of America. Imagine opening an old drawer or a jar of coins that has been sitting untouched for years. Among those coins might be a 1953 penny that looks ordinary at first glance. Many people would spend it without even thinking, but collectors know that coins from this time period can sometimes hold surprising interest and value, especially when they are preserved well or show unusual minting details. The year 1953 belongs to the classic era of Lincoln wheat cents, a time when these coins were widely used in everyday life. Millions were produced in Philadelphia, which is why these coins do not carry a mint mark. Even though large numbers were made, the real challenge today is finding examples that still look sharp and attractive after decades of circulation. Most coins from that year were used heavily in stores, markets, and daily transactions, which means many surviving pieces show where. Collectors love to search through coins like this because every coin has the potential to tell a story. When examining a 1953 Lincoln cent, experienced collectors pay attention to several important things. First is the condition of the coin. The shine of the copper, the smoothness of the fields, and the clarity of Lincoln's portrait are very important. A coin that still shows strong detail in Lincoln's hair and coat can immediately stand out among average coins. Another exciting aspect that collectors watch for is mint errors and die varieties. Sometimes during the minting process, small changes occur in the dies that strike the coins. These changes can create interesting features such as doubling in letters, stronger outlines on numbers, or slight shifts in design alignment. To an ordinary viewer these details might be easy to miss, but to a coin collector they can be extremely exciting discoveries. Some 1953 pennies are also valued more highly when they show original bright red color instead of darker brown tones. Copper coins naturally change color over time as they react with air and environment. That means coins that kept their original color are much harder to find today. When collectors see a coin that still looks bright and fresh, they immediately recognize that it may have been carefully stored for many years. There is also a special feeling when holding a coin from the early 1950s. Think about how many decades have passed since it was first released into circulation. This small penny may have traveled across cities, passed through countless hands, and witnessed a huge part of modern history. That connection to the past is one of the reasons coin collecting is loved by so many people around the world. Many collectors today enjoy searching rolls of pennies or looking through inherited coin collections hoping to discover a hidden treasure. The 1953 Lincoln cent without a mint mark is one of those coins that keeps collectors interested because sometimes the best examples appear where people least expect them. Even a simple coin jar at home can hold something special if you take the time to check carefully. If you have old pennies stored somewhere, this is the moment to examine them closely. Look at the date, study the details, and hold the coin under good light. Rotate it slowly and check the letters and numbers for anything unusual. You might discover a coin that is far more interesting than it first appears. Now let's talk about the value that collectors often want to know. A typical circulated 1953 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark is usually worth around 2 to 10 cents in the collector market. A well-preserved uncirculated example can reach around $5 to $30 depending on condition and color. High-grade coins with strong red surfaces and excellent detail have sold for several $100s. Exceptional top-quality examples certified in the highest grades have reached auction prices of several $1,000s. Coin point 3. Today we are going to explore a classic coin that many collectors search for, the 1940 Lincoln 1-cent coin with the S mint mark from the United States of America. This small copper coin might look simple, but it holds an important place in coin collecting history and continues to attract attention from collectors around the world. It was produced by the United States Mint and carries the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most recognized faces ever placed on a coin of the United States of America. Imagine holding a coin that was made more than 8 decades ago. The year 1940 was a time when these pennies were used in everyday life, passing from store to store, from hand to hand, across towns and cities. Most people never thought about saving them, which is exactly why collectors today become excited when they find a well-preserved example. The S Mint mark on this coin tells us it was produced at the San Francisco Mint, and coins from that mint often show slightly different characteristics that collectors love to study. When you first look at a 1940s Lincoln cent, you might only notice the date and the mint mark under the year. But collectors always look deeper than that. They examine the condition, the color, and the sharpness of the design. A coin that still shows clear details in Lincoln's hair and coat, along with strong lines in the wheat ears on the reverse, can instantly stand out from ordinary coins. Many of these coins circulated heavily, which means finding one with strong detail is not always easy. Another reason this coin is interesting is because of the minting process that created it. During the production of coins, the dies that strike the coin sometimes develop small variations or imperfections. These can lead to doubled letters, stronger outlines on certain parts of the design, or slightly different spacing in the text. Collectors carefully inspect coins under light or magnification, hoping to discover these details. A small difference that most people would ignore can make a coin much more desirable in the collecting world. Color also plays a huge role in the value and appeal of older copper coins. Over time, copper changes as it reacts with air and the environment. Many coins turn brown after years of circulation, but some examples remain bright and red if they were stored carefully. When collectors see a 1940s Lincoln cent that still has a vibrant original appearance, they immediately recognize that it may be a special piece worth adding to a collection. There is something exciting about the search itself. Many collectors spend hours looking through old penny rolls, inherited coin boxes, or collections passed down through family members. The thrill of discovery keeps people interested in coin collecting for years. The 1940s penny is one of those coins that reminds collectors that valuable and historic pieces can still appear in unexpected places. Think about the journey this coin may have taken. It could have been used during a completely different era, passed through markets and shops long before modern times. Every small mark on its surface is part of its story. That connection to history makes coin collecting more than just a hobby. It becomes a way to hold a small piece of the past in your hand. If you have older pennies at home, this is a great moment to check them carefully. Look closely at the date and see if you can find the small S mint mark under the year 1940. Use good lighting and examine the coin slowly. Sometimes a coin that looks ordinary can turn out to be a great find once you notice its details and condition. Many successful collectors started exactly this way, simply learning to look more closely at coins that others ignored. Over time, they discovered pieces that became valuable parts of their collections. The 1940s Lincoln cent continues to inspire that same excitement for new collectors today. Now let's talk about the value that many viewers are curious about. A typical circulated 1940s Lincoln 1-cent coin usually sells in the collector's market for around 15 to 50 cents depending on condition. A well-preserved uncirculated example can reach around $10 to $50 if the coin has strong detail and attractive surfaces. High-grade coins with original red color and excellent preservation have sold for several $100s. The finest known examples certified in top condition have reached auction results of several $1,000s. Coin Point 4. Today we are going to explore a fascinating classic coin that many collectors search for but many people still overlook in their old collections. This is the 1942 Lincoln 1-cent coin with the D Mint mark from the United States of America. It is a small copper coin, but its history, design, and collecting interest make it one of the coins that serious collectors enjoy studying carefully. This coin was produced by the United States Mint and it features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognized symbols on currency in the United States of America. Imagine holding a coin that was made during the early 1940s, a time when the world was going through major changes. Millions of these coins were produced at the Denver Mint, which is why this coin carries the small D Mint mark below the date. Even though many were made, collectors today still search carefully for high-quality examples because most of these coins circulated for many years and developed were along the way. When collectors examine a 1942 D Lincoln cent, the first thing they look at is the condition of the coin. The details in Lincoln's portrait are extremely important. If the hair details, cheek lines, and coat folds are still clear, that coin instantly becomes more interesting. On the reverse side, the wheat ears on both sides should show strong lines and clear separation. Coins that maintain these details after decades are much harder to find than many people think. Another reason collectors pay close attention to this coin is because of minting variations and possible errors. During coin production, small differences can appear on the dies that strike the coins. These differences sometimes create doubled letters in the inscriptions, slightly thicker numbers in the date, or unusual die lines across the surface. Collectors carefully study these details under light because even a tiny difference can make a coin stand out from the rest. There is also something special about the color of older copper coins. Over time, many coins turn darker brown because of natural aging. However, coins that were stored carefully might still show their original bright red copper color. These red examples are much more difficult to find today, and collectors often compete to add them to their collections because they look closer to how the coin appeared when it was first released. The story behind coins like the 1942 D penny is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. Each coin traveled through decades of history. It may have been used in stores, saved by families, or kept inside old coin boxes for many years. Every coin has its own journey, and collectors enjoy imagining where these coins have been and how they survived through time. Many coin collectors enjoy searching through old rolls of pennies hoping to find coins from the early 1940s. Sometimes these discoveries happen when someone inherits a collection or finds coins that were saved long ago. That moment when a collector notices an older date and a mint mark like D under the year can create real excitement. If you have old pennies stored somewhere at home, this is the perfect time to check them carefully. Take one coin at a time and look closely at the date and the mint mark. Use good lighting and slowly rotate the coin to see the details. Many valuable coins have been discovered by people who simply decided to look a little closer at their change. Collectors also love this coin because it connects them with an earlier era of coin production. The design with the wheat ears on the reverse represents a classic period in United States coinage that many collectors consider timeless. Holding one of these coins feels like holding a small piece of history that has survived through generations. Now let's talk about the value that collectors often want to know about. A typical circulated 1942 D Lincoln 1-cent coin usually sells for around 10 to 50 cents in the collector market depending on condition. A well-preserved uncirculated coin can reach around $10 to $40 if the details remain strong and attractive. High-grade coins with original bright red color have sold for several $100s. Exceptional top-condition examples that are certified in very high grades have reached auction results of several $1,000s. Coin point 5. Today we are going to talk about a small coin that has a very big story in the world of coin collecting, the 1944 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark from the United States of America. At first glance it may look like an ordinary copper penny, but collectors know that certain details can turn this coin into a very interesting and sometimes valuable discovery. This coin was produced by the United States Mint and it carries the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has represented American coinage for generations in the United States of America. Imagine finding an old penny from 1944 while checking a box of coins or a jar that has been saved for years. Many people would not pay much attention to it, but collectors become curious immediately because the year 1944 has an interesting background in coin history. During this period, coins were produced under unique circumstances, and because of that, some pieces show characteristics that make them stand out. The 1944 penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. Millions of coins were produced, but the true excitement comes from finding examples that are well preserved or show special features. Most coins from this time circulated heavily in everyday life, meaning they were used in markets, shops, and daily transactions. Because of this, coins that still show strong detail today are much harder to find. When collectors examine this coin, they start by studying the condition. The portrait of Lincoln should still show clear lines in the hair and face. On the reverse side, the wheat ears should be sharp and detailed. A coin that maintains these features after so many decades becomes much more appealing to collectors. The surface of the coin is also very important. Coins with smooth fields and minimal marks often attract strong interest. Another reason the 1944 penny is so interesting is because of possible minting errors and unusual varieties. Sometimes during the coin production process, the dies that strike the coins develop slight differences. These differences can lead to doubled letters, thicker numbers in the date, or unique lines and patterns on the coin's surface. To most people these details might look small, but to a collector they can make a coin far more exciting. One of the most talked about aspects of the 1944 pennies is the rare possibility of unusual metal compositions or striking variations that occasionally appear in the collecting world. These extremely rare pieces have become famous among collectors and have inspired many people to carefully check their coins. Even though such examples are very uncommon, the idea that a rare variation could still be discovered keeps collectors interested. Color is also a major factor when it comes to copper coins from this era. Over time, many coins change from bright red to brown as they age naturally. However, coins that were stored carefully may still show a strong original red color. These coins are much more difficult to find and are highly appreciated by collectors because they look closer to how the coin appeared when it was first minted. There is something special about the journey of a coin like this. Think about how many years it has existed and how many people may have used it in daily life. Every coin carries a piece of history, and collectors enjoy the idea that they are preserving something that has traveled through decades. Many coin enthusiasts spend hours searching through penny rolls or inherited collections hoping to discover an older date like 1944. That moment when the date appears under the light can bring excitement, especially when the coin looks better than expected. Sometimes the best finds come from places where people least expect them. If you have older coins at home, this is a great time to check them carefully. Look at the date and examine the details under good lighting. Turn the coin slowly and study the letters and numbers closely. A coin that seems ordinary at first could actually be an interesting piece once you notice its condition or unique features. Collectors often say that patience is one of the most important parts of coin collecting. The more carefully you look, the more likely you are to notice something special. Coins like the 1944 Lincoln cent continue to inspire collectors because they combine history, design, and the thrill of discovery. Now let's talk about the value that many viewers are curious about. A typical circulated 1944 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark usually sells for around 5 to 20 cents in the collector's market depending on condition. A well-preserved uncirculated example can reach around $10 to $50 if it has strong detail and attractive surfaces. High-grade coins with original bright red color have sold for several $100s. Rare exceptional examples in top certified condition have reached auction results of several $1,000s. If you enjoyed learning about this historic penny and want to discover more rare coins that might still be hiding in everyday collections, make sure you like this video and share it with other coin lovers. Tell me in the comments if you have ever found a 1944 Lincoln cent in your collection. Subscribe to Rare Coins History for more exciting coin discoveries. Thanks with love for watching.